And hello, everyone. Happy Halloween Eve out there. Um, so, tonight I want to talk about what if I told you that earning three times your current salary is actually the same as working just 4 months a year, getting like 8 months worth of vacation. Stay with me here because the math is wild and the math checks out. So welcome to everyone. If you're just joining, drop me a like in the comments. Tonight, we're talking about something nobody prepared me for, the actual financial reality of leaving clinical work for digital health. So, a quick intro. I'm Rod. I help clinical professionals transition between bedside roles into digital health careers. And what we're diving into tonight, it's going to challenge everything you've been told about job security and career security, because it did for me. So, um, here's a little bit of sort of my personal story here. I told my family that I was leaving the hospital job for digital health, and they're like, Rod, you're coloring way outside the lines here. This is dangerous. And, honestly, I get it. In their eyes, I had a secure position, secure job. Like, you're never going to lose that job, right? Had benefits, predictable paycheck, whole package. And what I was doing looked reckless to them. Um, but here's a thing, when you've been raised with a rock solid work ethic, you develop as a result this sort of loyalty to your employer, almost like you owe them something. And that work ethic is valuable, except when it gives you more loyalty to the employer than they can ever give back. Fast forward to today, my family doesn't question my decisions anymore. They just assume it's going to be successful. And that shift didn't happen because I played it safe. It happened because I learned the actual rules of business. So here's the math that nobody talks about. Let me break it down for you because it changed my life. Let's say here in the UK you're making £35,000 a year as a nurse, which is pretty good pay for a nurse, and you transition to a role making £100,000 a year. That's more money, but it's not just more money. That's the same annual income working for 4 months, like getting 8 months worth of vacation. It's a dramatic shift. So think about that. Three times the salary means you could work the 4 months and take 8 months off, or you can reinvest those 8 months into building something even bigger. You can go find more work in 8 months than you'll be able to handle, right? Right now, there's an epic nurse role advertised in London paying £100,000. That is wild. That £100,000 for a nurse is five or maybe even six times typical NHS nursing salaries. And it's not a unicorn, it's the market telling us something. Hi, baby Columbine. But here's the real question. Why does that role pay so much? It's because healthcare organizations have learned an expensive lesson that implementing technology without our clinical expertise leads to failed projects, wasting millions, not the little piddly 100,000 they're paying you, but millions, and dangerous workflow disruptions that'll land you in the papers, right? In a very unkind way. And the clinical professionals who bridge that gap, they're protecting thousands of patients while earning what they're actually worth. So take a look at some recent stuff, recent digital health headlines, because these are, right now. I'm not talking about something theoretical. Um, is digital health? It's exciting, it's different, whatever else. But is it just a moment? Like, is it just a fad? Digital health funding in 2025 so far has hit 9.9 billion. That's more than all of last year, and we're not through the year. Investors are writing bigger and bigger checks, and 62% of that funding is going to be for AI enabled companies. So, the translation, the demand for us clinical folks who understand both patient care and technology is not slowing down, it is accelerating. Meanwhile, nearly 900,000 nurses say they plan to leave the workforce by 2027. 56% of current nurses report burnout. The traditional system is hemorrhaging talent, while digital health can't hire fast enough. There's a gap here, and that gap is your opportunity. That's where your financial leverage is. Let's take a look at the sort of business reality here. Because I never got business training from nursing or anything else, so I had to sort of learn these things the hard way on my own. Here's what we clinical people need to understand. Employment isn't personal, it's business. And that's not negative, it's just reality. In my hospital job, I could lose my position if they restructured, if management changed direction, if budget cuts came down. My performance doesn't really matter. I was dependent on one employer's decisions. And that's what everyone calls security. But let's call it what it really is. It's a constrained dependency on that one employer. In digital health, my income depends on the value I create. If one client relationship ends, I have others. My earning potential isn't capped by some predetermined pay scale. It's only limited by the value of the problems I can solve. We need to learn these rules of business. We need to play on this level playing field because once you understand it's just business, you stop giving away loyalty for free and start building actual security. So in digital health, we have a whole different set of concepts for how you make money. The biggest game changer for me is the multiple revenue stream concept. It was just completely foreign. So multiple revenue streams. In my hospital job, I had one source of income. If I wanted more money, I picked up extra shifts. I would trade more time for marginally more pay, and they would take a lot of that in taxes, right? In digital health, my income architecture looks completely different. Let me walk you through what this actually means. I'm not going to walk you through the, starting your own business and how to run it and all the rest of that. We can cover that if that's something that you need help to set up, but it's also kind of common knowledge. This stuff isn't. One stream in digital health is consulting projects. Healthcare organizations pay premium rates for strategic advisory roles. We're talking digital transformation, AI implementation, clinical workflow optimization, $100, $200, even $300 an hour. Yeah, these are normal numbers that get thrown around. I know they sound odd and sort of high-flung for nurses, but in the business world, they're not. Stream number 2 here, retainerships. These are long-term relationships with health tech companies. They pay monthly for your ongoing expertise and guidance. This is a predictable base of income. Another stream number 3, is training and education. So developing and delivering courses on digital health topics. This creates revenue while building your reputation and your authority in the space. Another, stream number 4, speaking engagements. Conferences and industry events pay you to show up, talk, share your insights on digital health trends and implementation strategies, among many other topics. And then I'll just mention one more, advisory board positions. So health tech companies compensate clinical advisors with both fees and sometimes equity. So then if the company really takes off and succeeds, that equity just blows up and multiplies your compensation. Here's why this matters. When one stream fluctuates, the others are still there. They're stable. When opportunities expand in one area, you have the freedom to pursue them without abandoning everything else. So the risky multiple income model, it's actually far more secure than complete dependence on a single employer's paycheck. Let's take a look now at what's really happening, the investment climate. So some of you might be thinking, what if digital health is just a fad? So let me share with you what the market is actually telling us. There was a dip around pandemic time with everything else, and venture capital funding, though, has rebounded completely hard in 2025. It's not just rebounded, it's surging. We're seeing mega rounds, deals over $100 million at the highest level since the pandemic. There's been a $100 million euro deal in Germany just recently. I mean, it's drawn a lot of critics because it's such a big deal, right? Companies like Innovecker, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, raised $275 million. Abridge raised $250 million. These aren't small bets on unproven concepts. Plus, governments worldwide, they're committing to decades-long digital health strategies. NHS foundational electronic records, Australia's 10-year digital health blueprint. This is infrastructure investment, not experimentation. When governments commit to decades-long strategies and venture capital deploys billions in funding, it's not a fad. That's fundamental healthcare transformation. It's going on around you. It's going on right next to you. It's just not part of your current world. This is to make it part of your current world. So here's what security actually looks like, right? Let's talk about what security really means, especially with this digital health world, because the narrative that we've all been sold is quite backwards. So is security knowing that you're going to receive the same paycheck regardless of the job you do? Or is it confidence that your skills will be compensated appropriately? Is it dependence on one employer's career decision for you, or is it freedom to create opportunities based on your own expertise? And is it accepting predetermined salary caps that ignore your true value, or is it earning compensation that reflects the actual impact you create? The secure hospital job everyone told me to keep, it's becoming increasingly dependent on the exact digital health capabilities they said were too risky to develop. Real security in modern healthcare comes from having expertise that's in high demand and limited supply. Skills that transfer across organizations and geographies. The ability to create value that the healthcare system desperately needs. So here's my closing thoughts. If you're sitting out there right now contemplating a transition from traditional healthcare, at the bedside, to digital health, you're probably feeling some of the same fear I felt. The narrative about security and risk, it's powerful because it's been reinforced our entire lives. But what if that secure path is actually limiting your potential? What if the risky decision is the one that unlocks your true earning power? Your clinical expertise is worth far more than traditional employment suggests. The question isn't whether digital health careers are risky. It's whether you're ready to discover your actual worth. 3 times your salary isn't a fantasy. It's what happens when you learn the business rules and play on the level playing field. So if you want to explore this transition and how it could look for you, DM me. DM me. I've got a roadmap. I can send you that for free, and we can have a chat about it, see if we should work together. Drop your questions in the comments, and I'll stick around for a few minutes to answer them. And if this resonated with you, screenshot this and tag me in your stories. Let's normalize talking about what we're really worth, not just what somebody was able to talk us down to. Thanks for being here tonight. And remember, it's just business. Learn the rules and play to win. And do we have questions? I'm not seeing any questions coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the night. Happy Halloween Eve to everyone. And I'll see you next week.